Hello, I'm Dan Raywood. Welcome to IT Security Guru. Now today is Tuesday, 22nd of April, which means it's 2 weeks since the Heartbleed bug was announced. This, of course, is a major vulnerability in OpenSSL. You've probably read about this quite significantly over the last couple of weeks, not only here on IT Security Guru, but on many other websites. It's hit the national news, it's hit the trade press, obviously, and all the blogs, and it's been, well, probably one of the biggest web application flaws we've seen in quite a number of years. Now, of course, there's been some bad reporting that this is a virus or a worm. Obviously, those people in the know realise it's just a vulnerability, but it's a very significant one. The rumours are that it's hit many thousands or even hundreds of thousands of websites because they're all using this open source plugin for secure communication, secure traffic. And one of the research I've heard is that about 400 applications are vulnerable. Of course, there's also 66% of the entire internet is vulnerable. The question I would ask is how come so many websites are using the same plugin, and well, who's actually fixing this? Is it up to the industry to fix these open source plugins? It's really quite a tricky one to solve, and I think that's maybe where the big problem has been. One thing we have seen that's very positive is a number of vendors actually go out and say, we're fixed, we're not vulnerable whatsoever. Things we revealed last week like VMware, like Microsoft, like Cisco, Dell, big tech giants are coming out saying we're not vulnerable. And that's going to be very reassuring. You know, a story did appear in the Wall Street Journal, which claimed that one company called Mandiant, who you'll remember, of course, now part of FireEye, apparently a customer of theirs had been subject to a breach resulting in a Heartbleed vulnerability. Now, at the time of speaking, that's unconfirmed. But we've also seen in the last 7 days just two major stories where the vulnerability was exploited. Those were the Canadian Revenue Agency and Mumsnet. In those cases, both websites were the result of the Heartbleed bug being exploited, which is a very tricky one to actually mitigate, because they say it's not waiting for that patch to come from a company, waiting for the industry to fix this. Now, one story which did appear, of course, was from a company called BugCrowd. They're the bug bounty brokers, and they're calling for a crowdsourced effort, I suppose we should call it, to try and make sure things like this don't happen again. Now, very interesting, this morning I've come across a blog by a company called Veracode, actually criticising such a thing, saying this is actually the way things should be done. It's a very tricky one to resolve, because what I'm finding interesting is how many of these websites, we're talking big websites here, Yahoo, Facebook and a number of others, that were using an open source plugin rather than building their own application for secure transmission of data. So is it the case, once again, are we talking about a lack of skilled people, a lack of knowledge that couldn't actually go out there and fix this? The other thing, of course, that we're really learning about is awareness, actually, and people in the street learning about things like SSL, password security. You know, despite where you look, you are seeing some very mixed messages. Some people out there saying, well, change your passwords right now, but actually it's the best idea, because if the website is still vulnerable, then that new password is then recaptured. Now, that's a known fact now. We reported this a couple of weeks ago on IT Security Guru. But the big problem is people are listening, or people are not listening, and that's the question. Are people taking this seriously? Or are they realising, the world's going to end? I don't know really, it's a very tricky one to resolve. So if Heartbleed has taught us anything, it's taught us that nothing is secure, as far as I'm concerned. You can sit there and say, oh yeah, we launched some big thing that's going to make everything great. Well, yeah, but you're into a vulnerability that affects 66% of the internet and 400 web applications. How can you actually say this isn't an issue? For all the last 2 weeks, what I would say we've learned is a great deal about open source and a great deal about SSL. It's been seen as a great bastion of secure transmission of data. People like Jimmy Wells from Wikipedia talked it up about the need for HTTPS everywhere, and we've seen people like companies like Yahoo and Google and Facebook and Twitter all adopting SSL. So you know you log on, you see HTTPS, twitter.com, rather than just being HTTP, which is great. And we're not teaching people, but now we're seeing a massive flaw emerge. People just can't really get the hang of. As I said, it's affecting everybody, and what we really do need is efforts to ensure this doesn't happen again. That industry comes together to try and make sure these kind of issues are fixed. But what I would like to see is companies actually go out there and try and make sure that they can not only develop things themselves to ensure this doesn't happen, but maybe work together to actually collaborate and come up with ideas. But of course, nothing's perfect, just as I said, and research by a company called CNS Security revealed that the tools using to scan for Heartbleed were in fact vulnerable themselves, flashing out false negatives. Combine that with the stories that actually it could be illegal to run a scan or penetration test against a website looking for Heartbleed. That's actually illegal. So where's the win in this situation? It just seems 2 weeks on, we are kind of running standstill a little bit, and I'm a bit concerned that Heartbleed is a real breaking point for security, no doubt about that, but will we guarantee this sort of thing won't ever happen again? I doubt it, and well, hopefully in 2 weeks' time, after some big shows coming up and some big events, we'll have some more good news to report that things like this have been swept up. So for IT Security Group, I'm Dan Raywood, and keep safe.